It's Surge. It's night. Let's see, is this music? Play music. Is this music gonna play? Okay. Got my dissertation defense in, let's see, 10 days. Before I start this stream, really, I'm gonna point this to a cool building if I can. There's a heart on it, so that's why I'm trying to point it there. I think it's in that, yeah, it's in that direction. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You probably can't see it in there, but anyway. Yeah, so my defense is on the 29th, and I don't make money off of these videos, so I can play whatever music I want while I stream. So I'll play Battle at the Summit. I was studying peak experiences a lot. I took a picture of the mountains today, so my dissertation's about nature and not really as much about peak experiences as it could be. I mean, but what are you gonna do? So this is the music from Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon when you battle the champion. Well, I guess it's not spoiling it anymore because those games are old hat, as it were. But it's Professor Kukui in Sun and Moon. He's a great character, and your rival Hao in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which I thought was a cool little flip around. It makes the rival more, brings them to the fore more. I'm not sure we'd had a rival champion since Blue. Or since Red and Blue and Yellow, actually. Now that I think about it, right? Yeah, the rivals just got weaker after those games. They became more friendly, you know. They were friends more than rivals, really. So that was kind of a neat return to normalcy, as it were. But I'm at Shoreline Village now, the greatest place on Earth. I previously had a video by that name on this channel, a stream of Shoreline Village, when I was on a boat with 3 people I knew, but for personal reasons I had to take that video down. And we have a gym here, Shoreline Yacht Club. I'm too far out of range for it now, but anyway, I like that heart on the building that I was pointing at, and maybe you didn't see it because I watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall just before deciding to go on a walk. And there's a heart on something in that movie, and I forget exactly what it was. So great short-term memory search. A lot of Miss Drevis's, Miss Drevi, and Aaron's out tonight. I don't know what that's about. But I do know that February Community Day is Roselia. I mean, I already got one shiny Roselia on here. But that's still cool. It's a good shiny, and if I catch one more, then I'll be able to evolve one to Roserade, and I'll have the set. I completely forgot the Machop Community Day was this month. I guess I'm just preoccupied with the dissertation preparation. That's my motivation. So, but my friend said he'll trade me one. He said he got 25 shinies. That is nuts. That is insane. I hope this Fletchling doesn't run or fly away, really. Okay, great. Right on the beak. Alright, so we're recreating my stream at the best place on Earth, and I just played that song, so now we have no music. I could play the Smash remix of that song, which is really good. A lot of guitar, and it's just a good piece. A lot of Fletchlings, so make it easier to get to Talonflame, who, you know, fan favorite Pokemon. Was really good and competitive when it came out. It got worse the next generation because they nerfed it. They gave it they made Gale Wings its ability only active when it's at full HP. So it was still good, it's just you don't get the priority Brave Bird like anytime you want it if it takes damage. And if you switch into Stealth Rock, then Talonflame loses 50% of its HP. So you have to use Roost basically to get back up to full health from that point. I can't even see this Fletchling CP because it's hidden behind, okay, 159. So this one I could transfer. I just got to Fletchinder recently. Yeah, a lot of Fletchling out tonight. I'm getting a little worse with Pokemon names, which is worrying to me. I'm already like not as on point with their cries anymore. I think at around Gen 6, I was like, there's too many Pokemon. And then 2 generations later, Game Freak is like, Surge, you're right. There are too many Pokemon, so we're going to just cut out like more than half of them from this next game because it is too much. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. So, yep. So, there's no one out tonight. It's Monday night, but it's only like almost 10, so. Okay, this fletchling fled. But the water's kind of pretty. It's like it's kind of pinkish. Let's see. Yeah, see that? It's kind of nice. A lot of yachts and boats out here. So, I don't know. I thought there was another fletchling here, but it's gone now. So I got at Shoreline Village. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been missing the 7-day Pokestop. I get up to 6, and then for some reason I don't log in the 7th day. I don't know why. But I have been having some hand and foot issues recently. So I've been going to a physical therapist every week, and that helps a lot. The massages are on point for that. But I think basically by the end of the week, my hands are just too tired. I don't really want to open Pokemon Go. So that's the story there. Not the coolest story, but cool beans maybe. Can we settle for that? Yeah, really pretty ships out here, especially at night, with the lights out like that. Ooh, there's a seagull that just flew by. Yeah, I think Shoreline Village is largely still open. All the stores and such. I haven't even shopped at a store here since moving out, but I probably should get like a coffee or a Danish or something. That'd be pretty nice. So let's see if I can transfer a fletchling. Dissertation, I'm feeling, it still varies, my feelings on it. You know, one day, or like, early in the day I'm like, I got this, then later on I doubt it, and so it's just a little too soon, too undetermined. But nothing like the moment to reveal what actually happens, obviously. So, all right, transfer 2 of these fletchlings. Not tag. I haven't tagged any. I keep accidentally hitting the tag button there. Noctowl. My friend says I'll get a shiny someday, and I hope I will. That's a good shiny. So, Daughters of the Union. Happy MLK Day also. He made it into my dissertation, like, subconsciously. My work's about environmentalism, and so that's as a social movement. So I recommend in one of the sections there, you know, we can study people like MLK to study other social movements in a similar context that I studied them, which is using Maslow's theory, self-actualization. And then after I wrote that, I was like, oh yeah, it's MLK Day coming up. I do more things unconsciously than I realize, but lately I've become more aware of those things. So that's good. Good thing for a psychologist. I took a walk out here last night, and it was really crowded. Today it's just dead because it's Monday, I suppose. But as for me, I took have this week and next week off. I didn't even really give much of a choice in it, but 2 weeks I think is the right amount for dissertation preparations, the final ones. Hopefully this is the final push, and then be done with it. I feel like I could not be done with it. Like, part of me just wants to keep going, but I think maybe it is best that I move on now at this point. Figure out next steps. I think doing like a Pokemon podcast, not a podcast exactly, but like a virtual room that I've mentioned on here, I think that would be a really good idea. I'm a little inspired by forgetting Sarah Marshall right now, because in the movie That Guy, Jason Segel, is that the actor's name? Mila Kunis's love interest, but anyway, Mila Kunis like dumps him, and then he goes and like she's encouraging him to do this Dracula thing, like do this Dracula puppet show, which is hilarious and like really good theatrics.
So anyway, that's kind of inspired me to do this thing. I just need to figure out like the logistics, how it would work exactly. Like would those be Zoom calls, or would it just be like live YouTube streaming? And what kind of backdrop would I need? So there's just some certain questions to figure out. But hopefully if I pass the dissertation in less than 2 weeks, then I could, I don't know, think about that a little bit. I really do need to take some time off. I think these 2 weeks are more for preparation and getting into the right mindset, but who knows where I'll be afterward. I think I will go back to work, but I will also take time to kind of nourish my soul and do some of the things I want, do some things that are related to the dissertation and not. Because even if I pass the dissertation in 10 days, I still might have minor revisions to make. Oh, and now I'm just a dark hooded figure in the video here. Moving on to bigger fish. That's a funny Pokestop. There's a story behind that, but I won't get into it here. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a couple of things. I think it would be really cool to go up to NorCal. I'm in California. Oh, yeah, it's really windy. I guess the game knows that. Maybe that's one reason nobody else is out here. It's not that cold though. But last time I was in this spot, I caught a froakie. I was looking for a froakie. I don't remember if I did catch it, but then I saw this sign and I thought the sign was kind of funny. For, again, personal reasons that I won't get into. But checking out the tentacle. I have all of my other shiny tentacle up to tentacle. And here's the yellow gym, so this is a good walking spot. I'm grateful to have this little path here that I'm on. It's a bike path, but yesterday there were a bunch of people on. Some people were clearly inebriated. I was just going along on my way, thinking about random stuff. Like, is the Trump effect a thing? And obviously it was. So I was like, okay, that's not very interesting. After I Googled that, a bunch of different things. And then I looked up like whether incoming is used at all in a personality context, because outgoing is, people are described as outgoing, but it's like, why aren't they described as incoming, you know, if they're like more introverted? I don't know. I think that'd be kind of funny, but you know, the way we use words in different contexts, it's not always the same. Incoming and outgoing are like terms in technology, like incoming call, outgoing call, but I don't know. Part of me thinks it'd be somewhat simpler if we just like mapped those terms onto like other domains like personality, but you know, it's more rich and diverse, I guess, when it's not like that. Alright, so I can add a Pokemon here. I'm not sure who to put. I think I'll put, let's see, I'll put Gyarados. I was thinking a lot earlier today about like the monsters we all have inside of us. I've become more aware of mine lately. And I'm not sure when I started reflecting on this. I think it was, I remember this time at UC Santa Barbara, my college, when I was in a fraternity. I was living there. And I was really figuring out what I could do, like what kind of role I could play to help the fraternity. And I never really did figure it out well, but other than go through like a couple leadership meetings, you know. But I did run for office at one point, but I think I was too obscure in my speech. People were like impressed by it, as it was like almost like, it was more like awe, but not really, like, didn't really reach them. But anyway, so yeah, there was this, so I had a meeting with two of the other guys in the fraternity once, and just like, just to talk about possible things we could work on. And both of those guys were elected to it's called a secretariat. Was it called a secretariat? I forget exactly. This is why I was never a good brother of Sigma Pi. But maybe I'm thinking of the UN with secretariat, obviously. That is in the UN, but so yeah, anyway, so I met these two guys, and I really felt like a Kieran going into that meeting. I was like, you know, if we could, I felt incomplete. I felt not fully whole, you know, because I was looking for my place, really. And so, But I don't know, today, so I added black Keurig to my party. I guess I'd already reflected on that a bit recently, because my Keurig was it's still a black Keurig. It's a special attacking black Keurig, which is interesting, I feel, because it's very much more on the physical side, like Zekrom. Let's see, I'm starting to feel a little aching on my foot, so maybe I'll start walking back now. But anyway, I wanted to do another stream at Shoreline Village. This is a good place to walk if I'm feeling up to it. We'll see how I feel tomorrow after physical therapy. I think it took like till the next day I realized, wow, my hands and feet feel much better. So, not to make this stream too much of a sob story about my personal health. But yeah, there's a ship out there. It looks really nice, really pretty. It's over there. See that? Yep. And this was around where I went on the boat trip. I went across this harbor, went to the other side, which is cool. I'd never been to the other side of the harbor. So maybe for the Roselia Day I'll come out here and play, but honestly I have good spawns in my condo, so it's just however I'm feeling that day, if I do decide to or not. A lot of water types here, obviously, because it's Shoreline Village. It's by the shoreline. It is the shoreline. It's a village there. So, yep. Anyway, I'm not sure how much else interesting to add. Just felt like getting out of my head a little bit. I didn't go back to my parents today, but I've been going back to my parents like every day. But like the past weekend, I just drove too much. I haven't had to change my oil. So yeah, when I start adding all these fillers like and so, then you could tell I'm dry and out of things to say. I'm feeling a little less inspired today. Like I'm still adding things to my dissertation and I'm still preparing for it, which is like all I really need to be doing right now, and that's why I took 2 weeks off of work. But I don't know. I've been feeling more inspired, like coming up with new words and just like, you know, doing creative things like that. One creative thing I did do tonight was after I watched that movie. Ooh, tentacle. After I watched that movie, I've been doing this thing called Hikaru Dorodango. I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but I've been kind of sharing it on Instagram, encouraged by a friend to do that. I had another friend kind of draw an analogy between people and Hikaru Dorodango, where basically like Hikaru Dorodango is Japanese mud balls that harden and then people paint over them. So I painted over mine tonight, and I just dumped. I realized I have white paint in my condo from when they renovated it before I moved in. So I was able to literally just dunk it in a bucket and dunk it in a bucket. Okay, that's probably the word I made up for today. Dunk it, but like with an E. Anyway, so yeah, so I put it in the white paint. It dried really quick. I guess it's just that kind of paint, just like fast drying. I need to put that onto my wall because I did dent it when I was trying to put a nail in one area, which I couldn't really have predicted that would happen because the nails were going in all the other wall areas I was putting them in. I have a lot of posters up in my house right now. I have like 10. I'll have 10, I think, by the time I'm done. I have posters, and that includes like things like whiteboards, so things to hang on the wall is what I mean. Things to put on the wall. I have a whiteboard. I have 2 more posters coming. They're like more motivational, bro-y types. Like, one is like about mindset and has a tiger on it, which I was just inspired to buy in the moment because it reminded me of 2 people I've known. And then, it's like a kitten looking into water and seeing itself as a tiger. So it's like it's all about mindset, you know. Then we can fool ourselves into believing we're all sorts of things we're not, or that we can be, you know. But anyway, I got that, and then I got another one. It's not over till you quit. It like there's some other part to it. It's not over when you fail. It's over when you quit. So that's a little bit like, if I fail my dissertation, it's not over until I quit, you know. That's just for my mental health. And yeah, just before coming here, I passed Marina Green Park, which I thought was cool. Ooh, print plot. That's not shiny, is it? No, it just looks shiny to me because I want it to be. But that's kind of cool to see on the overworld. War Turtle and print plot. It's like second stage starters are out. Some cool spawns lately. Let's get physical. So, yeah, anyway, today I was doing more research, and I have a lot of references for the dissertation, and some I haven't actually put onto it because my literature review just got too big compared to the other sections. So one way I could fix that is I could either make the literature review shorter, but my advisors recommended I put in more, so I did. And I probably put in more than I should have. But I think that's the longest section of my dissertation, which is kind of not the way it should be. But maybe by the end of this semester, I'll have that change, and I'll have the other sections be larger than they are. Maybe that's the way to go. But anyway, I didn't even mention the things I want to do. So I wanted to go to NorCal. There's this place called the Russian House up there that I met somebody at a crypto consciousness conference in San Francisco in like 2017 or 18. And she runs this thing called the Russian House, and she's posting all these Facebook stories about it. So it got me kind of wistful and wanting to go there and check it out finally. And make some food up there, so that looks kind of good. But yeah. I'm a little more ADHD tonight, but I drove over the Long Beach Bridge, if that's what it's actually called, and there was a lot of fog going through it. It really reminded me of Golden Gate. It's kind of weird. So, but actually I wondered if it was like smoke, because there's a refinery. There's refineries like once you're past the bridge from where I was coming from. And one of the refineries to the right was like billowing smoke above it. But to the left, it was like, it looked like fog. I'm pretty sure it was fog, but there were refineries there too. So it could have just been a lot of smoke. Hard to say. How long is this stream now? 22. It's not too bad. Anyway, so I mentioned that Marina Green Park because I was able to add a reference that I'd found before about green spaces and their benefits for mental health and well-being. Green spaces are just like parks. And apparently there's a big movement to convert brown fields, which are like contaminated chemically, to convert those into green spaces, which is kind of neat. Maybe I'll find a way to add that, a reference I found on that. There are a lot of references on that, but I had to call my dad about that one, because chemical, environmental, that's his wheelhouse. He's better with the chemistry than I am, obviously, as a psychology student of many years now. A lot of Jigglypuffs out here. So it's actually pretty easy to get to Shoreline Village from my condo, because I can cut through. I don't have to walk around to get to it. So that's good to know, because this is the greatest place on earth, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so I want to go to NorCal. Maybe I'll go to San Diego to visit my brother, because he went back. He's thinking about making a move out now after being home for like a year or two. So good for him. He let me borrow the Swiffer, so that's cool. I haven't used it yet, but I should. There's just some dust and there's just little pieces of dirt on my yoga mats, my tatami mats, technically. All right, you can use them for yoga, but you don't have to. All right, coughing is there. Speaking of chemical pollution, there's a climate change story about that in Sword and Shield, Galarian wheezing, because it's like, its top hat is like it's like a refinery. It's like the tube. So that's a pretty clever design, but there are some morbid Pokédex entries relating to the environment in those games. It was pretty deep, actually. It got me like rethinking my dissertation after I played through Sword. And my ex was like, "How did you feel after you played, like, spent all day playing that?" And I was like, I mean, I took away some pretty valuable insight, you know.
honestly. So, so yeah, NorCal would be good. There was another place I was thinking about though. I forget. I can't think of it at the moment. It's not Santa Barbara because I already had a kind of trip up there recently. Well, anyway, I'll play it by ear once I get to the point of passing my dissertation. Check the Stantlers, see if it's shiny, because I had good luck with those during Christmas, New Year's. Here's Marina Green Parks. That brings us full circle. Oh, and I indirectly added Yu-Gi-Oh to my dissertation. I mean, I just mentioned it'd be good to study Gaia and Terra, which are the Greco-Roman goddess of Earth. So, dissertation about Earth, and there you go. So, I could go a bit of a different way than I came to get back home. Ooh, shiny Makuhita at this gym. That's cool. I've been hunting for that for a little bit. No luck though. Oh yeah, my physical therapist and we talked about Pokemon GO a little bit today when I was there. I'm going to a place kind of close to where my parents live and where I moved in 2000. So I'm going the long way home, it seems, because I realize also I haven't taken a long walk in a while. It's been like a good couple months since I have, I'd say. It's because of all the foot pain and because of work, and there's another second form starter, water starter, really low CP Marshtomp. I'm passing an area where my friend, his now wife, and I played Pokemon GO some time ago. I remember there was an Indian wedding going on where I'm pointing, so I'm walking past that. Tentacools here. Yokaichi, what is that? My fascination with Japanese culture is showing, I guess. Hikaru Dorodango and tatami mats, both in one stream. I also bought a funny ramen shirt. Oh, and I had birria ramen today. That's the other thing I wanted to say on here. Birria ramen, really good, really good. I recommend it. If you're watching this and you're like, you've heard of that or you want to check it out, it's like Mexican ramen, really, really good. I was kind of skeptical at first, like it sounded good. And once I saw I could add pork belly to that, I was like, oh, I have to do that. Because I developed a fondness for pork belly like 3 years ago. It's already been 3 years. Going to a Chinese place with my friend, my housemate, and longest friend, oldest friend. So, Rainbow Lagoon Park, that's where I am now. Walking by it, very pretty. There's these like swan boats, that's cool. The Pike is up ahead, really fun area. There's like a roller coaster thing. I'm not sure if you can actually ride it or if it's just for show. I guess it's the latter, but it's kind of a cool thing over the bridge.